like a captive. I want you. Used to pay my life, standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I haven't felt this in ages, and I've no patience. So won't you please stay a bit longer? You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay a bit longer. You're making me stronger, making me
Where are you going? Going so fast tonight. Have you ever stopped beside the road to smell the rose of life? Take a breath now. Don't hold
Hey, how you guys doing? So, all the fun. What's up, Deli? How you doing? So, all the fun. You can see I already kind of started a little of my fun. Mostly because I don't want to subject you guys to having to watch all of what's about to happen. It's actually not going to be too bad. So tonight what we're going to do is the Duck Unicorn Legend that we built the other night, or a couple weeks ago. Heiny, what's up, man? Thanks for subbing. I appreciate it. That is your resub. 5-month streak, man. Subbed for 5 months. Crazy. Awesome. So the second Unicorn Legend we built on my stream had PCB issues, just like the first one did. Go figure. On the other one, something was obviously wrong with one or more of the LEDs, or potentially the controller, because we had a whole segment that was out. It has been 2 weeks since we did that. Anyway, customer got a new last week we did a polycarb E6.5. So customer bought a new PCB, a new used PCB, and if you notice over here, there's a whole bunch of Mil-Max sockets that we're going to be removing. I've got about half of them removed on this board, maybe a little less than half, around half, and it took like 20 minutes to get those out. So it's pretty easy, actually. I mean, it's a pain compared to soldering stuff in, but it's actually not super complex to get them out. What's up, TSC? How you doing? Frisco Melt? Hey, what's up? And Talisman, man, I'm glad to see you here. Of course, Heine's here, man. That's awesome. Thanks. So yeah, so we're removing these, and then we're going to take apart the other board. We're going to desolder the other one real quick and switch all the switches in the plate into this. Now, I already verified that this PCB works. We'll verify it again after I've got everything desoldered. But yeah, Milmax sockets. Don't use them. They're junky. Hate them. And they're kind of a fair amount of work to remove, as far as I can tell. Get us some lemon water tonight. All that goodness. Hey, what's up, Martakia? How you doing? Oop. Vodka mule for you. Nice. I don't think I want to drink right now. I'm probably gonna have a drink with some people tomorrow, but I drank a bunch this last weekend because I went to a bachelor party. I think I might have been, I wasn't more drunk than I've ever been, but I was a little hungover when I woke up, and then I was sick later, I think from food, from the hangover recovery plan. The food made me ill. So I was like, you know how hangovers get better, right? So I was like, meh. But I was the first one awake and the first to the restaurant. And then we got food, and I started feeling way better. Just like, it went up, and then like an hour and a half after that, it went way down, and I didn't feel good at all. And then, like, you know, 10 hours later, I felt fine. It was lame. 20 years sober. Yeah, I don't drink a ton. I mean, I do, but it's not very often, and normally not very much. But it was a party. It was a bachelor party. Had to do it. Had to go. Had to go have fun. It wasn't great. It wasn't great for the recovery, but I lived, and I'm here to talk about it. I will probably have a drink tomorrow night because I have some work obligation thing. Some people visiting from some other place. Faraway land. So, anyway, that all being said, before we jump into this, because I've been doing it for a little bit anyway, I'm gonna go over some new arrivals. I'll start light. Got a new acrylic switch lubing station. Normally I use that other acrylic one, but it just has square cutouts, so I have to actually like lift the switch up a little bit to get this top to snap down, which is super ghetto. So I finally got something where I'm gonna be able to just like put the switch tops on without having to do that. Is anyone else having issues with the video? Keep saying stream is offline about 2 seconds after you join. I don't have any dropped frames. I think it might be you, TSC. Sorry to hear it. Yeah, I definitely don't have any dropped frames. Cool. Thanks, Swig Jumper. Hey, nice to see you again, man. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Yeah, so got something cool for that, which is, not major. It's not crazy. But it's cool. I got something that it's crazy, even though I ordered it last week. I've been meaning to jump in and do a video where I like go through a more complex build, like beginning to end, so that I can have maybe some like produced content out there, not just the stream. I will build it on stream, but I will record and try and like stitch that all together so it's like concise for the stream. Anyway, Practice 65 from Upas over at Cannon Keys, and I love the stuff that this guy does. There's a few people in the industry that I've talked to or met or dealt with where I think they're just pretty upstanding folk, and they seem like they're doing a good job and Upas is one of them. Mechanic, he's pretty awesome. So I figured it was as good as any board to start with to do that. So I got the whole kit, and I'll build it up. And who knows, maybe I'll set it on my desk for a little while over here, because it's a little smaller than this 75 right here. Right, little shorter. Might fit up here a little better. Anyway. So I got one of those, and it was crazy. Normally you forget about group buys and they come and you're like, oh my god, it's here. Even though it only took like a week, or less than a week, I just forgot that I ordered it all together. And then the other thing I got is I got a second GMK Camping. I was gonna jump in on GMK Camping R2, but this showed up on Mech Market for frankly about the same price as I was probably gonna buy, a spend on all the kits that I was gonna buy. And so I just bought it instead. You know why? Because Camping R2 is inferior to Camping R1. So now the only thing I'm going to jump in on Camping R2, I pinched my finger, on Camping R2 is the space bars, because I don't have those. And then we're done. No more. Yeah. So I got some exciting new things. I'm kind of expecting some other boards to show up really soon, and they kind of haven't been. It's like, what's going on here? Anyway, and then I'll talk about what we're going to build upcoming in the immediate future. Next week, we're going to build a plaid, which will be cool. Talisman. Yeah, but forgot I ordered this thing that just arrived. Makes up for the I can't afford a new thing. Yeah, that's true. I know you've been jumping in on all sorts of stuff, and it happens, man. It happens to me too. I did the same thing. So I totally get it. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna build a plaid next week. Then it's kind of a toss-up as to what I do. I have a customer sending me another E6.5, right? Like, I guess we need to build another one. We'll build 3 in like a month and a half on stream. And then there's a customer who got a tofu acrylic, and I've had his parts for a while, and now I'm just kind of waiting on like a plate, because we ordered a non-standard ANSI plate that he wanted, and then I ordered another one. I tried to attach it to my KBD 8X order, assuming that it was going to be here soon, and they're just lagging on that, so we're just shipping it, having it shipped on its own. So whatever parts arrive first will, enter the queue first. And then I have like a ton of my own stuff, so I may work some of my own stuff in there if I decide to. And if it fits in with customer schedules. Anyway, yeah, so that kind of concludes my new stuff this week. And we'll jump right on into getting this all completely desoldered. It was I have to admit, it was a little bit of a bummer, man. Like these Mill Max sockets. I mean, customarily they're gonna be there, but Mill Max sockets suck. Don't do them. And then removing them is kind of a pain in the ass. Luckily, like I said, this board appears to work just fine. So we will put this PCB in that board and get it all built up and shipped off to the customer, because you can't have stuff that doesn't work. I did attempt to handle that other PCB. It just doesn't work out perfectly. So, by the way, this is how we're removing these, right? So they don't stick out very much. I did remove some solder on them, and you can kind of try and push them out a little bit if you want, like sink the tip of the iron into the hole, because it'll just barely fit, or at least this tip will. I actually have a much finer tip than this, I probably could put it on here and push these out all together. So there's like a little capillary action that kind of pulls these back, unfortunately. I'm kind of letting it heat up the whole thing, melt the solder, and melt it out a little bit. And push them out, and then it kind of exposes them. See, some of them actually fall out on their own. When you do this, most of them seed out just a little bit. Some of them won't, and then those will be harder to do. So we do this. And this will work even if you don't desolder pump the top first, which is in fact what I did. So this is not the easiest thing on your PCB. It's not like deadly if you don't push super hard. You just kind of let gravity mostly handle it after they're heated. But it applies kind of a lot of solder or heat to the pad. So if you're going to do it this way, probably do these all in series. That one already is out. Probably heat them up and let them cool back down. Especially on a PCB like this, which has only strong, well, the trace or the pad on the top side is very thin. So we're kind of gonna get this guy done like this. It pushes him out just a little bit and gives us a little bit to hold on to with these fine pitch tweezers that I have. Why is that not heating up? There we go. It's also hard on the tip of your iron, so you may have to like use some tip tinner or something like that, which you've seen me use on stream before, and I'll use it again after I'm done with all this because, like I said, it's kind of hard on the tip because you're putting pressure on like an individual point a bunch. So anyway, that was a weird one. Well, that one was like messed up. Whatever. We won't mess with it too much. No reason to. So kind of let them fall out just a little bit. And like I said, we'll heat them back up with some tension pulled on the backside from the tweezers. And they're going to pop right out. Then we'll test the PCB. We'll desolder the other one. We'll use the soldering gun of doom, as TSC likes to call it. I should get an animation made. Soldering gun of doom. Boom, boom, boom. Sounds like a lot of work though, making it myself. Alright. We'll save this top row because it has a different kind. Where they were really easy to push up. Yeah, okay, so, and I'll save the bottom row so you can kind of see. So if I look at it, it is a pain in the ass. So if you look right here, you can see they're all kind of exposed now, with the exception of these bottom row ones. So if you look at the bottom row, well, they're kind of flush. They're much more flush right here. But these ones stick way up now. Yeah, I agree. Hiring is definitely worth it if that's what you're trying to do. Anyway, so now what we'll do is we'll take the exposed ones and now we have something to hold on to with these tweezers. and we'll literally touch it again, heat it up, and get them out. So that is, I believe, the good way to do this. I mean, putting a really fine tip iron on here and using it to just push them all the way out may be the right way, but it also might be a recipe for disaster. So if I've already used this one to success, why wouldn't I just do that? You know what though? The things we do for our customers, I do want my customers to have great boards, and I want them to leave me perfect. For the first time, I actually had a customer board that I built arrive with a messed up stabilizer. Like, it popped out in shipping, which was a major bummer. You know what, I'll just do these ones too. These ones they used a taller type of Milmax socket. These ones kind of look like the Otemu sockets, which are much taller than Milmax socket. And the worst is actually hole tights, but they're probably the easiest to remove because they suck and they kind of pop out on their own. Like, I've actually removed some hole tights before from my own board that I tried to make with them, and I was like, nope, never again. Not installing Milmax or hole tights or anything. Milmax are way better, but still, customers should avoid them at all costs. They're junk, and they make the switch a little wobbly, less stable. I already pulled those ones out. Okay, so now that all those are done, what up, Flasian? How you doing? Samuel Kibble, how you doing? You personally I love the Unicorn X Legend as well. It is absolutely one of my favorite boards. But the finished product, they've always been a pain. The two, I guess this is two that I've dealt with, have had issues. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna literally grab the base of this with the tweezers, the Milmax socket, and we're gonna heat that back up, and it's gonna come right out. And then this is how we remove them. Heat it back up till it flows, then pull it right back out. And that happens pretty quick in this case. In terms of looks, yeah, it's amazing. It's on my top. If you've watched, I'll get to Kale Hot Swap in a second. The short of it is I don't think they're very good either, but they're clearly the best of the hot swap options available. So Samuel Cable, if you watch my Mechs on Deck episode, the one where I hung out with those guys, or you watch most of my streams, if I ever talk about favorite boards, it actually makes not the top of the list, but it's in the top 4 or 5 for the finished product. Though it's a pain to work with, and I'll always caveat it with that. All duck boards are a little bit more of a pain in the ass to deal with the diffusers and stuff, but The PCBs just aren't that good. That's really what it comes to. They require snow tools, at least this board does. And snow tools is kind of a pain in the ass. There's like a special version of snow tools for this. Yeah. Wasn't there some trippy film in the 1980s with Tom Cruise, Tim Curry, and Mia Sarah called The Legend that involves a unicorn? I don't know. That's a cool link though, probably. But I'm not going to do it for the moment. I got to do this. But I will bring it up in a minute. So you got to be careful not to apply too much outward pressure on these while the board is heating up. Because we don't want it. We don't want to pull a pad out. So some of these don't come out that far, and you have to let them, you have to work with them a little more. Hot swap sucks. Kale hot sockets are the best option by far, and if you need them because you really have to have your boards, your stuff broken in. So this is the trailer for it. I don't know if we're gonna watch that trailer right now, but it's open in a new tab and I will watch it later. Yeah, so if you're gonna use hot swap, definitely be using Kale hot sockets at this point. They're the easiest to work with and replace, and they have the longest effective lifespan. I don't think Milmax sockets are necessarily bad for everything, but I think they're bad for what we do with them. I'll get back to that one, to that row or whatever. Kale hot sockets are rated for, according to Kale, 100 insertions. I think they may, if they're done well, if they're soldered in well, be good for a little more than that. But I think most of what you're going to end up with, they're probably not going to work for quite that many, depending on who made the board. If you put them in yourself, which is a pain, and you solder well, then you'll probably get good results with them. Um, 100 is pretty high since no one really, I mean, yes. I mean, that's why I'm saying I'm not sure that they really last that much, because in practice, because I've seen people have problems with them. I mean, I've had to repair them before. Not had to, but I've taken somebody's work repairing them. Now I normally won't take anybody's work that involves hot swap of any kind. I probably will do a hot swap board for me at some point, just for the grins, but I would never recommend them for all the people. They're junk. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's how I feel about it. And honestly, if you're into this hobby, what do you think you're doing with hot swap? Really? Like, there is not a lot of good reason to own one. That's tricky when they're all close to the middle of the board like that. it's wonky. Actually, when it's really wonky is when they get below the edge of the board. Like, you can only do to the midline. Yeah, I would just avoid using them altogether. I don't know. I may do a Milmax board at some point. I have a lot of customers hit me up. Or not customers, but people who want to be customers. People who are looking to get their boards soldered together using Milmax sockets or hole tights. And I turned down literally all of that work. To the point that I'm seriously considering putting in my advertisements. Though it's been like 4 months since I advertised. Anyway, I am considering just saying no, like in the ad, like, don't contact me to do this kind of work. I won't do it. But I don't want to, because I do repair people's stuff sometimes where it's just a couple. And I understand, because it's the Kale hot sockets are SMD. Not everyone is comfortable doing SMD work, and frankly, a lot of people shouldn't, right? Like, some people are bad at soldering. I mean, soldering is relatively easy to get good at. Relatively easy to get decent at least, pretty quickly. But you probably don't want to practice on like an $800 board, right? If you've never done it before. Which is why I want to make that produced content doing something cheapo that requires all the things soldered on. Like a practice 65, like I got over there, right? Yeah, so a lot of people have a hard time soldering well with through-hole components the first time, because the concepts elude them and they have no feel for it and they aren't technically inclined. So they're like, well, everybody says this is easy, and it is easy, but it's a mechanical thing, so you have to be somewhat inclined for it to be really, really simple without any good instruction. So if I were anybody who wanted to know how, I would get something like a practice 60 or 65, and I would go to a meetup where they're going to have a class where they talk about it. Like at Seattle, that was a thing. Like, they had a course on it, and it was great. I mean, I didn't go to it, but I read about what they were doing. They said what they were going to do, and it seemed like a fantastic plan. I mean, if I were less lazy than I am, I'd probably reach out to that organization and try and help next year when they do that. Especially because they didn't do it during the actual meetup. It was like after, like the next day. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing, right, Talisman? Like, I learned how to solder on a long time ago on some really high-end audio amplifiers, and I did it all day, every day for, I don't know, months. It was like part of my job when I was like right out of high school, and so it's no thing now. Even though it's been a long time since I did that job, I didn't forget the fundamentals, and now I do it every week again. After having done it some for me, you know what I mean? On keyboards, which keyboards are fairly simple projects to take on, actually. Sorry, I swear I'm not trying to flip you guys off. It's just the only one of my fingers that's long enough to reach that far up. and it's next to my pointer, which I'm using otherwise. Reported. Oof. Right? It's not actually a reportable offense, but travel was good, man. Travel was great, actually. Like I said, I got a little more hungover than I would have liked. One day. We're actually pretty close to done. I saved that whole top row and 2 columns in the middle, which I'm having a hard time reaching like this. Like my fingers aren't long enough for. Anyway, so we'll do those in a different way. So yeah, travel was good. I went to Scottsdale, Arizona for a bachelor party. It was freaking great. However, like I said, more drinking was involved than was strictly necessary, which is basically none is strictly necessary for anything, ever. But I did have a good time. So, yeah. And then it's funny because I'm traveling next week. I didn't have to miss my stream for that bachelor party because I left on Thursday because it was a weekend thing, but I am almost certainly going to miss my stream next week, unfortunately, because I will be in Vegas. And I'll be there for a work thing. So, I don't know. I mean, I may think about bringing a soldering iron and something to rebuild. Like, not a customer thing, if I do that. But I doubt that the internet at the hotel will be good enough to make it happen, so I would not count on it. I'm definitely not going to be drinking heavily after this bachelor party that I went to for a while. Because again, not really feeling it. Okay, so all the ones in the center are gone. We just have this top row. Who did I fly? You're going to send my deeply offended. Oh yeah, sorry. You're gonna send your ex-wife to seek retribution. Oof. Who did I fly? I didn't fly. I drove. I drove each way. It was nice. Living the life, eh? Yeah. Vegas is like a 24-hour bachelor party with no groom. True enough. It can be that. It can be pretty wild, but I'm not a gambler. So for me, it's like go to a show or something, which is not. I'm not a gambler, and I'm not really into strip clubs, so it's not my thing. So in Vegas, I usually like try and find a show and a steakhouse, stuff like that. Shocks, man, what's up is we are pulling Milmax sockets out of this Unicorn Legend PCB, and then we're gonna desolder the Unicorn Legend we made a couple weeks ago and use this PCB because the PCB for that one is kind of jacked. Unfortunately, when you went to Vegas, you got tired of gambling quick. Yeah, I think I've maybe gambled a few times in my life. Realistically, like I just never. It's not entertaining to me. Not entertaining. But to each their own, right? I mean, I don't think it's inherently bad. It can be fun if you're into that thing, if you get excitement from that. I mean, shoot, I never really played the lotto very much. The few times I have, it's always been when it's like $1 billion, which is when your odds are the worst. But that feeling of like hope from doing it, or like where you're like, man, I could just come up so hard that I don't know, don't ever have to work again, literally ever. That's cool, I guess. It's kind of an idiot tax, right, is what they call it. And that I understand, which is why I don't really do it. But I have a couple times. But anyway, so I guess I kind of understand the concept. I just never been into it. Fake Vegas story cover, his tracks, show, and steakhouse. Yeah, right. Ooh, went to a steakhouse with that bachelor party group, and it was so good. It was rather expensive though. Also in Vegas, you can call every pretty girl Bambi, and you'd be correct a third of the time. Oof. Blue Man Group. Love Ruth's Chris. Ruth's Chris is good. I actually don't remember the name of the place that I went to, the steakhouse in Scottsdale. Probably because there was some alcohol involved. Maybe. But 'twas delicious. It was. Like I said, it was pretty expensive. Dude, the Bambi comment. Oof. You think like a third of the time you think it's that frequent? I mean, I guess it depends on what kind of places you're going to, right? Like, I'm positive there are some places where that's probably pretty true. Like strip clubs. Bambi or Crystal, right? So we got like 2/3 of them covered. Yeah, I don't like it like this, where it's all low like this, because the tip of the iron wants to get stuck in that hole. It's not good. Not good. Man, we're almost done. There's like 2 left. 2 switches. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. Now we'll test the PCB real quick. We already have the tools out, so that'll be fast, hopefully. Okay. Bunny. Yeah, that one. There's the one. Gonna tune out for a bit. Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Come back whenever. You're always welcome. You really are. All right. So now, let's get us some of this action. So, boom. We got all those LEDs this time. That's a good sign. We got these LEDs, which, yep, the indicators. Anyway, let's get us some switch hitter action. Go through them real quick. like I said, I tested this before I pulled all those out, so this is really just testing that the desolder works. Come on, scroll lock. There we go. Is our temp at? Not melting. Come on, get up there. There we go. Clean out the hole there a little bit. The back side of that needs to be touched up too. Okay, better. I don't know why I did that solder with it live. That's not the best practice. So control, alt. Oh, that's FN as we saw. That's alt. Space. Go in there. There we go. Okay, we're on our way. All right, looking pretty good, man. Looking pretty good. And we have a caps indicator, which is good. There we go. That's what I wanted. Man, okay, I feel like we're making good time actually, considering this is what we're doing. I feel like we're doing okay. All of our stabs are already lubed, so that's gonna go quick. Oh, that's the one. Okay, so every switch position works. All the LEDs on the back side work. All the LEDs on the front side appear to be looking good. That RGB just looks like stage lights. Yeah, because it's so... Oh, no, man, I knew it was going to be good. Deli, I see that. Your heart is racing as I'm testing. It's going to be cool, man. So we already know it works, right? And the RGBs all work because we can see them, so that's good. Let's get the other board out and get it taken apart, and we can show off what exactly was busted this time. Well, not what exactly, but we can show what was going wrong. And I believe I know what was going on. But there's literally no guarantee with this board. I left the keycaps on from last time, so I guess we're gonna have to take those off. That's right, I put GMK Eclipse on. Tiny Shiny Crumb Stream when? Yeah, they might be. They might be. If they're smart, they're saving it up because they don't get to make money for very long. Probably. If I had to guess. On my last airplane ride out of Vegas, I did meet a girl named Amber on a plane, and she was a dancer at a club in Vegas. She was really cool, actually. We had a good time on the plane, just chatting, hanging out. Her and the dude that was in the row with me, we were all super talkative and friendly, and everybody wanted to just chat and for 4 hours, you know, just hang out. So she was pretty cool. But But I'll go out there and I'll say that I don't think she was probably too wise with her expenditures. Given that, especially in her career, the time is kind of limited. She's a cute girl. Cute girl. Very nice. And I hope everything goes well for her. You must have read my mind. Yeah, I think it looks good, man. I think that the set looks fantastic on here. But I don't think that it looks good on every board, and I don't have many or any black boards. Oh, I have J01. I guess we'll get around to building that one day when the new PCB arrives. Okay. What did you read my mind on? You've known your fair share. In Florida, it's not uncommon way for you divorcees even to make a buck. Really? God, this board is a great board. Honestly, like the Unicorn Legend, despite its, in my opinion, absolute crap PCB, it's a fantastic board otherwise. That's right, so he wanted control, so centered caps position, not Love lubed freaking Zelios, guys. I know you guys know that if you watch my stream, but really, honestly, some of the best switches ever made. Some of the best. You think caps is the most useless key? I mean, it's my Windows key now. After receiving HBCP and that being the default load, I was like, I tried it and I was like, you know what? Don't even want to reprogram it. I mean, I did reprogram the board when I got it, so it's not Heine's default layout, but I left that part there because it was actually really good. Oh, what was this plate? Oh, this FR4 one. Man, FR4 is so good. That's right. This PCB, the replacement one, came with stainless, which don't do it. Copying, pasting. Oh, control. Control C, Control X, Control V. Yeah. I use Win key where control originally is. That's right, that's what you had said previously. I think you even gave me like instructions on where you want your mappings, which is good because the Snow Tools version for this board is garbage and hard to find. Like, it's a pain in the ass. It's really junky. I don't know. Don't use snow tools. That's my recommendation. Man, somebody else needs to make a board for this. So this fits H87A with the exception of these indicator lights and the port. The USB port is flipped. That's right, we use the purple ones. The purple ones look really good on this. The purple accent keys. I'm probably one of the weird guys who bought literally all of the accent keys for this set. I don't feel bad about it. I think it looks really good. Yeah, if you weren't able to do with snow tools, it's going to do it in registry. Yeah, that's rough, man. No, snow tools is doable. I've done this before because I have dealt with one of these boards. But honestly, it would be a million times better if it was QMK. Like if this board had a decent PCB that came with it, and like if it had a decent PCB that came along with it, it'd be awesome. It'd be an awesome board. That's really what it comes down to. But it doesn't. It has a shit PCB. And it bums me out to no end. Like, it's got RGB, which is rare in a high-end board. In a high-end custom. It's got, it comes with FR4 plate as an option. Which is awesome. It's top mount, which is awesome. That's not that rare. FR4 plate isn't that rare either nowadays, but whatever. And it just has decent looking aesthetics. And it has that cool, like, harsher finish that's on duck boards, which is nice, in my opinion. Doesn't show fingerprints so much. It's just good. So we'll show what this one is in terms of its shittiness in just one sec. So I did in fact try and troubleshoot this board, and it didn't work. But it's probably realistically this LED or this one right here. I tried to reflow them, but I don't have that smallish weird size LED, RGB LED, a bunch of them on hand, and it's not a guarantee. And customer was able to easily find a replacement, easy enough. So it just made sense. Let's go with that because we know it'll work. And bingo bango, it was done. Now before we get all crazy and heat this iron up, I'm gonna pull the tip off and clean out the sucker hole. That's what I'm gonna call it, the sucker hole. Wait, what's going on? Oof. See, the videos I've seen come from that state. Yeah, that's true. Gets most useless key, blah, 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 blah. Knew a Japanese young lady who had 2 daughters who was divorced from her pilot husband, and she's a dancer at 34. Good for her. Yeah. You can keep that PCB. Oof, dude. Okay. So we're gonna do the thing where we clean this out. case anyone's never seen it. Oof. Probably best that we're doing this. Okay, well, we're gonna heat it up now. Because we need it to melt. Melty melter. Probably never gonna see you on camera / streaming. Do it if you want. Don't do it if you don't want. You know, I was in Vegas. I actually went to a gentleman's club called the Sucker Hall. Oof, the whole year in. Dang, dude. Brutal. Okay, it's hot. Suck that. That's what somebody said. I don't know if it was him or her, but... Right? Scrape the sides off. Okay. Nope, get out. Ah, come on. Okay, make sure it gets on there. Clamp it down. Sounds like it's got good suction. Clean the tip off and out. The appropriate size flash hole cleaner thingy or bobber. Okay. Looks like we got it. And then we will clean that off. Clean this one off. Turn that bad boy off. All right. Appreciate that I can keep this one, but you know. Let's get your back right. Oof. Tranquilite. You've been thinking about getting a desoldering pump iron, not sure you can justify it. So it depends on how much stuff you do. Tell me how much soldering you do, and we can talk about it, right? Japanese horror writer. Hey, thanks for the 1,000 bits. That's freaking awesome. I appreciate that so very much. That's freaking amazing. You are awesome. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. It's truly, truly cool. So we'll desolder this guy real quick. Switch over, resolder it. We don't have a lot of extra work to do. We just have to move over. We just have to move over the stabilizers, and it'll be freaking done. He's chasing me around tonight. What? Chasing you around? Nice. Feels nice to be wanted, doesn't it, Talisman? Hopefully this isn't crazy loud for you guys. Hey, if the pump is too loud, please let me know, somebody, and I will quiet my microphone down. if it's like killing you. They're always kind of loud. Haven't experienced that yet. Of course you have, man. You're always welcome to my stream. Every time, man. You know what I'm actually gonna do to reduce the sound of this pump gun? Sorry guys, you get to see me adjust stuff. Move it up just a little bit. Never return to Zork. Thank you for following. It's freaking awesome, man. I appreciate that. I love the Twitch community, man. I do. Like, I like my stream and hanging out with you guys on Wednesdays doing this. I may be living the life next weekend, or next week on Wednesday, going to Vegas for a work thing. It's not really living life, it's for a work thing. But truly gonna miss the stream. I will try, like I said, to bring something to do there. Soldering iron, etc. But I somewhat doubt that I'm gonna have the appropriate upload bandwidth at the hotel to be successful. So I'll test it. And if you guys see a bot ping or pings go out to people's stuff on Wednesday, then you'll know I'm around. If not, don't be surprised. I'll try not to miss them, but occasionally I have to. Occasionally. You clicked the wrong button. Arg. Well, what button did you click? It's not that loud. Sounds like the electric bed massage unit at the hole you're in. You're welcome. Thanks, man. I really do appreciate it. The follow. Never return to Zork. That's awesome. All right. Ooh, that didn't get it all. Why did that not get it all? Okay. Something's up here. Oh, I know what's up. Needs to be cleaned out. Yes, it does. There's like a plug of solder that went into the tip of the suction area, the suction chamber, and it looks something like this. So this is a thing you have to deal with if you're doing soldering and you got a desoldering pump, Tranquilite. Here you go. Right, that's one of those little things, right? So this is the top of the suction chamber. And you get little solder pieces. Like this is really hot, so I'm not going to touch it directly. But it goes like it filled that whole area, so I had to like pull it out. So there's a bunch of little maintenance things. You haven't been doing as much soldering work as you used to. Used to do a fair amount of keyboard work, rework, and salvaging. How are you salvaging stuff without pump? Oof. But since the advent of cheap, plentiful switches, you haven't felt the need to do any of that. Used to occasionally do SNES cartridge repos. Okay, that's cool. Involving desoldering 40-pin dips. The only future project you might do is an NES RGB mod that involves removing dips and decently high pin count. All right, so here's the thing. This is like $300 shipped to your house. It's a workhorse. It doesn't have issues. Straight up, it's just freaking good. I left it on accidentally for a week. Heating element worked fine. The only parts I needed to replace was this and the tip itself, which burned up. Everything else was cool. It's a beast. But with that being said, it's $300. It's made to be an industrial, at the bleeding edge of hobbyist work, and basically do industrial load work for a fraction the price of most options. Now, there is a Chinese option out there. I've heard that it's decent. I've not used it. I asked Huey, who I guess used to have one. His did go out after maybe like 80 boards worth of stuff. So you can't expect the same longevity out of it. However, it is what made me choose the Hakko. The Chinese option is 1/3 the cost or less. So if this is $300 shipped, it's 100 or less, I think, or maybe it's around 100. I don't remember exactly, but it's, you know, not $300 either way. So there is an option that isn't a Hakko that's good, or so I hear. I never had one. I went straight for this bad boy, but I kind of looked at it like I want parts that are replaceable always, and I never want to have to replace the gun itself if I don't have to. So for me, that was the right option, right? But if that's not the right option for you, think about maybe doing the other one. Also, every week I do a board, and I don't know how many times out of that I have to do desolder work, but it happens frequently enough for me to want the right tool for the job. It's kind of how it is for me. Bought a number of Wise terminal boards in the past. Good source of double shot keycaps and Vint Blacks. Vint Blacks, I agree. I've found very few of them that have good keycaps. Plus, they have like a 9U spacebar. They're okay though. Vint Blacks, I agree with. That is where to get them. I don't know. I would make the same choice again, even if I was getting into hobbyist work. Like, I mean, this is hobbyist / professionalism, which is technically professional, and I treat it like it is. But if I was just gonna build my own boards at this point, with how into the hobby I am, and how on and off I am with soldering anyway, I would get one of these. It is a big price tag to swallow, though, if you're not going to use it. Yeah, sounds like the world's angriest goose. It does sound like that, but I don't know what to tell you guys, man. It's just so perfect, and it beats the little hand pumpy deal so hard. The little like suction plunger deal, and solder wick too. I actually think the suction plunger deal is damaging and should not be used if you can avoid it at all. Like, absolutely. I think it creates too much pressure per suck, per like shot, and what happens as a result is you lift more pads than are absolutely necessary, which should be 0 or absolutely necessary. Anyway, I think wick is actually better. The wick does kind of impart more heat into the pad than might strictly be necessary. So while that's true, right? I think the right option is the sucker pump thing. Spent too much time desoldering switches with those cheap desoldering plungers. Like you never need to fully desolder a keyboard again. Probably just give in and get the hack out. Yeah, I definitely lifted pads before with the desoldering plunger. Yeah, so vintage boards aren't really a fair comparison to something like this. Mostly because they've had a lot of time to degrade for the pads to kind of delaminate on their own. And, oh, come on, where'd you go? Oh, nose, where'd it go? Ah, come on, you jerk. Sorry, guys. Switch went running. All right, we're gonna have to find that one later with a flashlight. Oh, there's the flashlight. Dang, translucent switches. Sorry. Where could it have gone? There's a wall. That was on a switch. Dang. Oh, I found it. All right. There's a rolling cabinet off to the side of me and it went under there, which is weird. Normally stuff goes forward if it falls off. And then it's really easy to find because there's a wall. Hey, Max on deck. Thanks for rating, man. I love you guys. You guys are the best. 24 viewers. How you guys all doing? How are you guys all doing today? Hopefully very, very well. We're desoldering this. We prepped another PCB. We're on our way to having a Unicorn Legend that works with all of its LEDs functioning. and everything. And I can't forget it. Because while I love this board, love the Unicorn Legend, one of my favorite boards. All of you Mechs on Deck viewers probably know that it's on my top list from when I was on Mechs on Deck with those wonderful, wonderful guys. You just finished a Matrix. Ooh, did you really? How do you like the Matrix? I'm actually curious. I had a customer, well, somebody hit me up saying they wanted a Matrix, and actually kind of lagged on getting back to them because they wanted some specific stuff and I was mobile, and then they found somebody else, which is totally fine. But I was like, I never built one of those. I never built a Matrix. They seem cool. They probably have jank firmware, if I'm guessing, right? Like, do they use Jigon or something like that, probably? If I had to guess. A couple of these are in there a little harder than they necessarily need to be. It's really nice. You would buy another one if you got a chance. Jumped into one because it jumped to one of my favorite boards. It's a TKL, so I won't be touching the firmware. Sure. Yeah, I'm curious. What did you put in your Matrix? Yeah. Do you know what firmware it uses, though? I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, okay. Well, never mind. It's not that big of a deal if you're never going to touch it, I guess. But some people put, on their firmware, put like split right shift or something like that. Or different bottom row layouts. So I guess you probably don't support that, so. I don't know what this song is, but it's weird. This is going pretty quick. Yeah, I don't know. When I get a chance, I will build a Matrix, I'm sure, at some point. I think... So I've discussed plenty of times what my favorite board is. And don't want to be called a shill ever again. So I will not call that out. But I will say all of the boards on my top few list that I can think of have a board option if they don't use a board by default that supports QMK. Except for this one. This is on my list of really good shit that I like, and it does not. And it uses kind of the worst firmware to have to interact with, which is Snow Tools. So yeah, I'll have a few weeks coming up where I'm not streaming, which is kind of a bummer. So I'm gonna, not in a row. This next week in Vegas, which I'm guessing I won't be able to. Then in November, there will be a day where I won't be able to stream, or a week, because I will be on a cruise ship. That one, there's no chance I'll have connectivity because I'll be in a foreign country. Not particularly well known for its good connectivity in the areas that I'm going. What else we got in here? Plenty more where that one came from. What the heck is going on here? Oop. Alrighty then. Yep. That one was weird. Makes sense that some of these would have solder on them. Because this is when the pump was getting, or the tip thing was getting clogged. Okay. Was that their last one there? Ooh, it was. Okay. So let's get this jobber done. Okay, so what did you have to say over here? You guys have been talking a bunch, and I appreciate it. All of your awesomeness. Or a little bit at least. Big need to program anything. CRP Desco and retooled blacks 205 grade 0. Retooling. Retooled blacks. Yeah, PCB being fixed helps. Helps you not have to make choices for sure. Sung is what Roxo hears when he tries to play Tetris, yeah, right? You need to run. You'll catch up with the VOD afterward. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it a lot. Be sure to say hello to Amber, Bambi, Crystal, and Bunny. All right, will do, dude. Will do. Later, man. That's rough. Okay, so fleet, go over here. We'll get these guys off. Looks like it's in the rightmost hole there, eh? We'll get this going. Let's get this going. There's this like alarmy sounding sound in the background on this song, and it irritates me every time I hear it because, oh, we used Band-Aid mods on this. That's right. Customer, you do want Band-Aid mods, correct? If you do, we will have to apply them new to this board. To this board. Just making sure. Want to make sure and get you the things you ask for. Do I have enough pre-cut Band-Aids? We'll see. Sure, we'll call that one and that one. It'd be a fat Band-Aid section, which isn't gonna hurt anything. Well, it's probably just a little big for single shopping. This one will be fine. Nope, that one won't be. Okay, we're gonna get rid of those. Two, three, four, five. We're not gonna use this Band-Aid material because I don't like it as much. I give up on those ones. More Band-Aids here. We will cut them up real quick. That's fine by itself. Okay. Tossed and tossed. One, two, three, four, five, six. Seven, 8. Doesn't matter that they're that uniform size as long as they're not too tall for going into the stab and not too narrow for fitting underneath where the thing smacks. Just in case you guys were wondering why there's differences in sizes and why that's an okay thing. It is an okay thing. We're gonna put these really big ones under the spacebar landings. Mostly because there's just more space there. Actually, maybe just a little bit too tall. Okay. We use the wide ones there. Remember this spacebar sound. Which spacebar sound are you talking about? Spacebar sound on that PCB? I mean, the whole point of this is actually to damp the spacebar sound. Not add to it. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, my least favorite part of most keyboard builds is actually chopping up band-aids for the stabilizer, except for this build, which is definitely the for this build it's definitely 100% the removing those Milmax sockets. Not a big deal, you know, just it is what it is. So which spacebar sound are you talking about? You must be talking on this board from when we built it the first time. I'm really stoked to get this board out to you. I am. I hope that you love it.
Some say life is short and you'll see what's behind you is your history.
Okay.
I can't think about the things I miss. So happy living in this joyful bliss. I'll sell my soul.
Did I really not cut enough band-aids? That's ridiculous. F is wrong with me, guys.
Won't grow old. No escape from this bigger dream. Sell my soul.
So I need 2 more.
Sell my soul. I'm in too deep. Sell my soul. Won't grow old. Said I'm in too deep. Said I'm in too deep. Sell
Miscounted.
my soul. Said I'm in too
Like a fool. What you gonna do? There was a typing sound video of a PC salamander with Fey matcha switches, and it's so amazing. Typing sound videos are cool, but I will say they're somewhat overrated, and I'll tell you why. Because when you mount this microphone on the ground or on the table, which by the way reminds me, actually, we can do this now. because we don't need that solder sucker anymore. When you mount it on the table, which is what's going on in most of those videos, you get this thocky sound that like doesn't exist otherwise, can't really exist otherwise. I'm not saying don't think it's awesome. I'm just saying it won't be representative usually of what you hear in real life. And polycarbonate, in my experience, does not make the best sounding material. It's a cool material. It's just not the best sounding material. What kind of a plate did it have in it, out of curiosity? Do you know? Said it was a salamander, so it could have had a PBT plate. Or a brass plate, if it had a default plate option. If it had a default. Okay, so salamanders, that polycarb one probably goes for a lot, like 1,200, 1,300. I don't know what the alu ones go for, which is unfortunate because I own an alu one, an R1 alu salamander. I don't know what they go for though at this point. So you go over there. Okay, we'll get these little thingamabobbers. Okay, get some on there. Get them just a little wet looking. Maybe a little hard to tell from where you guys are at. I'll zoom in on one in a second, kind of give you a little inclination of what I'm looking for. We have one left that's not soaked through. Well, I'll show you on that one. Okay. We zoom way in. Boom. Right. We look right here. you can see they're all kind of wet looking. We take this and we kind of spread that around. We get this wet looking patch where it goes, and we want it to look like it got wet, but that it's not like slicked on top with a lot of reflective shiny lube all over the top, which is where we're at with all of these now. So we will zoom back out. Oop, oop. 20 millimeters we hit. There we go. That's where we're gonna stay. Okay. Any other hobbies besides keyboards? So for me, yes, tons of hobbies. Firearms are a hobby of mine, like shooting sports, kind of, like 3-gun stuff like that. I try not to talk a ton about that on stream because it's not really relevant to what we do on this stream, and you know, people are weirdly political about things. I'm not political about it. I just like doing things that are fun. That being said, so there's that. I like cars. Like fast cars have always interested me. I don't know if that really fits in here either. I mean, I guess there's a little bit more overlap probably in this community. I guess there's overlap in all the communities, really. Some. Although I haven't been into firearms in a while, and I haven't been doing much in cars. So keyboards is basically my big one that I'm like continually into right now. Other things are just like recurring. Electronics and computers, obviously. And so computers, like I recently built a rig, which you guys are not watching me on. This is like not even my last rig. My last rig is right here. My new one is there, and then this is like a 3rd generation old PC. Trying to think of what like my other hobbies are right now. I've got no, those are really them for right now. Those are them. I only have so much time for hobbies. And this particular hobby of mine has turned into like a side business thing where I don't know, I don't make like a ton of money or anything. I do appreciate everybody's like bits and all that stuff, of course. I never want anyone to think that they are not appreciated. They are quite appreciated. But it's not like a huge money making endeavor, and for the amount of time that it ends up soaking up. What it is it's a chance to, one, reach out to a new community of people, i.e. all you Twitch guys, and it's an opportunity to kind of like be involved in my hobby in a way that gives something to the community, hopefully. So that's kind of cool. Metallic Charles, what's up, man? Yeah, I still never set up any bot commands. This is a Duck Unicorn X Legend. It's actually the build that we did 2 weeks ago. Except the difference being with a fully functional PCB this time. Go figure. Go figure. Go figure. Zelio's V2 62 gram that are lubed by me. with some 3204. If I recall correctly, 3204. I have to go look at the build doc now, because it's been a couple weeks since I lubed them. Lube to customer spec. What's up, man? How are you doing? Really, really cool to see you. Like, really, really cool. Tiny Shiny Crumb, why do you show as my most recent follower? Did you like accidentally unfollow and refollow? That's weird. I don't think I ever remember. That's what you were saying earlier with the accidental button hit. Got it. Makes sense. It happens. What are you gonna do? So there's absolutely a way to set up bot commands, Metallic Charles, and I need to do it. I'm just, you know. I don't use Streamlabs OBS, which is what a lot of people use in our little hobby of streamers. I use Stream Elements, so it's set up a little differently. It totally works. Like, there's no drama with setting it up or anything. But it's slightly different. Why would I do this yet? No. What I do is this. Here we go. Well, it's kind of not cool because I'm sure you guys care about such things being available and you're used to it. And outside of my stream and the actual builds associated with them, the prep for them and the customer stuff, I probably don't give it as much attention as it should have. Like, I've been meaning for a long time to go find somebody to do overlay work for me. Like, to make custom overlays and stuff like that for the stream. So that I'm using good stuff that's purpose-built for us. It's just a time thing. I know a lot of us have full-time jobs. I'm sure, with the exception of now Nathan Kim, everybody does. But it's important to treat this like it's important to you. Because you guys are important to me. Okay, I will do that. Yeah, what time? Yeah. I don't have some of that, and still what time? My job takes up a bit of my time and effort. Not that I dislike it. I like my job just fine. But not having a job would definitely make it so that it took up less time. Which is why I'm like so excited for Nathan Kim, right? Like, being full-time, as scary as it probably is, like, it's freaking awesome that we have somebody in our community who is full-time streaming. Because it'll really ratchet up the production value of everything. Okay, cool. Make sure they all actuate. They do. They do. They do. They do. They do. Okay, cool. Now we'll get going. Throw this back on. Get these switches in. It's our stream timer. 2 hours and 3 minutes. Killing it, guys. For a full rebuild and having desoldered freaking Milmax sockets, oof. It's gonna be freaking awesome. That's right. Linculus is always over here. Linculus 7. You? On all of them, that's right. Dang. It's been a while. It is on all of them, right? Yeah, it is. Non-stepped caps. Alrighty. Get these ones around the edge so we get some extra support.
Walking home in the morning light, you're the one thing running through my mind. Could this be the start of something good? 'Cause all I know is that it feels right. You live once and I don't wanna think twice. Could this be the start of something good? 'Cause I
Okay. It's always weird on more flexible plate materials getting the switches anchored in. Always gotta, find a few here and there that can support some load distributed throughout the middle of it. And we're getting there, but always takes some effort. Alrighty. Cool. Yeah, now that we got more of these anchors in, they're going in and staying where they're supposed to be much easier. Much easier. Oh yeah. All right, cool. Okay. Sweet, sweet. So, I'm curious about you, Metallic Charles, man. What other hobbies do you have? What interesting, awesome, and exciting hobbies are yours? What about you, Deli? What are you into?
Silhouettes of you used to haunt my dreams. Nightmares laid to rest, no coming back to
Other than Keebs, yeah. Like, do you have enough time? Oh, astrophotography. Did we talk about this once before? I'm into some astrophotography myself. You know what? Do I have Adobe Creative Cloud installed on here? On this system? Dang, I don't. Ooh. I'll see if I can find something of mine. Okay. I'll well, let's see if I can show you guys. There you go. Not bad. I feel not bad. I have a better picture from that same location where the orientation is turned and it's looking at the mouth of a crater. So crater in the foreground, horizontally aligned Milky Way in the background. Just saying. It's a thing. It was untracked, yeah. That was untracked. I do not have the equipment to track. So my personal astrophotography stuff is limited to stuff with a cool foreground and wide angle lenses. Totally. And I actually have a friend who has a telescope that he's done photography with, where he's like totally willing to. But I mean, that glass was like, that was on an APS-C sensor. I have full frame stuff now, so it would look better. Although that looks amazing. Like, it's in that, I don't know, whatever. I've done better since then, but that's in an email where I can download it and pull it up. because I made a background for somebody's phone off of it. Yeah, okay, so now you're getting into a totally different realm of photography. Like, doing CCD cameras, huh? Like, cooled CCDs and stuff. I mean, that's cool. There are a fair number of places around me with real dark skies. So, like, I don't have to drive nearly as far as a lot of people. I guess we aren't anchoring so much as just filling out the board. Which is fine, I guess, with me. I don't know, man. Like I said, I have a buddy who's got a telescope with the whole like tracking setup. And he's done some like galaxy shots and stuff like that. I have another buddy who works at a college doing astronomy classes and stuff, teaching, so that he has access to their telescope and has set up and done some crazy stuff. Like, I don't have any, my cameras don't even have the H alpha filter removed. Like, I'm just like, and that's not a light pollution filter that I use there. That's like a red what's it called? I'd have to go look it up. Whatever. Filters out sodium spectrum, roughly. Red intensifier. Is that what they're called? I did go during the eclipse and take some shots. That was pretty cool. Cruise Control TV. Cruise Control TV, man. I like that name. That's super cool. Thanks. Thank you so much for the host, man. 17 viewers. Dude, that's freaking awesome. Thank you so much, man. It's all about the hosts tonight, man. Thank you. So yeah, so that's my thanks for following too. That's freaking cool too. Yeah, so I guess I should pull that image up so the people who just got hosted can understand what it is we were talking about. So this is a shot I took of, well, obviously the Milky Way and someplace in the desert. And I've taken a better one since then. That one was just available in my email because we were talking about it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, so we're talking about our other hobbies other than keyboards. So I'm into it, but I'm really kind of just into photography in general. So the reason that I did astrophotography was just because it was like a technical, or the first time I went up and did anything. In fact, I think that image is actually from the first Milky Way like season, I guess, that I ever did anything. I did a couple like shots close to my house, just as practice, and then I went up and drove to a place that's about 3 hours away that's dark and played around with those one night, and that's what I got. But I think the reason that I did it, and then a year later I found a really good time where there was a much better foreground in play, and took some with a full frame camera. Anyway, and the same lens actually. And basically I found out that, hey, Shota IRL, thank you so much for following. I found out that I just really liked it because it was super technical way to do photographs, and then gave me a chance to really work on post-processing, right? Because you don't really get images that accentuate the night sky stuff without some kind of post-processing, some serious post-processing usually. I mean, not like crazy, but you know, work, getting her done. And so I like that. But I think if I were gonna go and do a bunch more photography again, the thing that I didn't spend a ton of time. So I've worked with, so I've shot a couple weddings, which is cool, really cool. It was cool to learn, right? It's not actually a very fun thing in general, shooting weddings, but that's like the bread and butter for most pro photographers. That being said, there's a reason that I wouldn't pursue that thing professionally all day, every day, because it's a lot of work. Okay, if you set up some simple tracking, you can shoot pretty. You know what, Metallic Charles? Hit me up sometime and let's talk about it. Out of here, actually. I'm definitely down to talk about how to set up tracking. These are Zelio V2s, 62 grams, lubed with 3204 by me. And there's Zeal stabilizers. Remember to get stabs. Yes, always get stabs. Yeah, it's worth going extra mile to get screw and stabs. Yeah, so Daz right, El Padre is totally right. Always do screw and stabs. Don't do clip-ins. Don't do plate mount. Don't do clip-in plate mount. Don't do co-star, right? If you can avoid it. If you're doing an Alps build, then co-star's inserts are okay, depending on keycaps that you're using, or actually OG Alps ones. Depends on what you're doing. But if you're doing a Cherry MX board, which you probably are, if you're new to this especially, 100% screw and stabs. And right now, I would go with Zeal. They're expensive, but I would go with Zeal. The reason I would go away from Cherry is, right, people have claimed that the newer molds, the most recent iterations of them, were maybe not so great. How true is it? I don't know. All the GMK and Cherry stabs that I have, especially, are pretty old. I've had them for a while. GMK sets are good. I would do them, I guess, personally, but I would go with Zeal, personally. I think they're just the most likely to get the best results. They are expensive, so probably get a couple boards worth, and have some for your next board. Like get the $50 kit instead of the $30 kit, and get 2 sets. Anyway, Zeal stabs are great. I would Zealios. Man, I sound like a Zeal shill right now. I'm not sponsored by Zeal, and I'm not shilling, but Zelio V2s are freaking amazing switches. I did do everything right before I go crazy on this. Yes, I did. And we tested the board earlier. That looked like that. Boop. The one that didn't show up there is a function layer. If you're gonna go with linears, Telios are great also. But there's some other good linears like Gad inks that you could get, novelty creams, etc. But Zeal stuff is expensive. That's actually the downside of Zeal stuff. Like Shota IRL is saying, they're pricey. Literally the only like complaint anyone I think could realistically make about them is you got to have the cash. So I don't know what to tell you. If you're on a budget, there are plenty of other great options, especially in the linears world, in my opinion. In the tactiles world, your options for good switches, for truly extraordinary switches, are much more limited, in my experience. but mostly because I like heavy tactility. My favorite tactiles are Alps Browns. So, you know, we'll go with expensive switches, I guess, and start there. If we're just talking about how pricey they can get. So I'm curious, everybody who joined, Shota IRL, Cruise Control TV, what are your favorite boards, man? Cruise Control TV, what were you just building? What were you just doing when you hosted? What was the keyboard that was in your hand? I'm pretty unable to view anything that anyone is streaming on Wednesday nights, so a little out of that loop. Well, you make cables, but you had a keyboard on your desk that you were using. What was that? Something good, I hope. Or something that you think is good, at least. And that's totally subjective, of course, right? Just kind of anchoring around for a little bit. Getting this some switches in all around that'll kind of hold the plate in place. Box navies with SA Lime on a Kira 96. Nice, dude. Tell you what, man. I like tactiles, then clickies, then linears. And I have a, not a 96, but a, I'll just pull it out. It's literally right here. I have a board with navies. Ooh. Maybe it's not my favorite board, it's a little dusty, but TKC 1800 with box navies. Love those box navies, man. Gotta go with the thick clicks. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. Making cables. So, I do need somebody to make some cables for me. I mean, I guess I could try and make my own. I think the hard part with Limo's, right, is that you got to source the connectors. And Limo is not great about making like 4 connectors for people. If you want to buy like 7,000 connectors, or you don't have to be that many, but if you want to buy a bunch, then you can get them to make some cables or connectors for you. Oof. I'm down to do a collab with cable making. Somebody show me how they're doing it. I'm always down to find people to do stuff with. After doing the Mechs on Deck episode, like hanging out with them, honestly, like I'm totally down. The part of the community that I like the most is the chatting with and collaborating, talking with, being involved with other people who are into the hobby. Going to okay, we've done a shit ton of anchors. This plate's not going anywhere. I'm just gonna solder them up in a series now. But anyway, the part that I like the most is the social interaction. Going to meetups, chilling with people, talking about cool keyboard stuff. Learning. Jerk Chicken, what's up, man? How you doing? How you doing? It's really simple. 4 solder points on each end. Sleeve it. Easy cable. Yeah. I agree. It doesn't seem terribly hard, but I mean, it's still a thing if you're set up to do it a bunch. Like, paying somebody else to make awesome cables is freaking kind of a no-brainer. It's like if you're not comfortable with soldering and you are afraid to do your board, just pay someone in the community to do it, right? I mean, same kind of thing. Same kind of thing exactly. Hey, thanks again for the raid, by the way, and you should feel free to plug your service in here. Like, I'm actually friendly to that on my stream as long as people aren't obnoxious about it in general. Like, people talking about their service, like, feel free to mention it. People need cables, they need people to build their boards, they need all sorts of stuff that they're uncomfortable with doing on their own, or maybe incapable of, depending on their skill level. Oof. What camera do I use for the overhead? This is an A6000. I'm gonna actually switch it up soon. I'm I keep meaning to reset up this desk and I just falling off with it. But what I want to change over to is mounting this. A7R2 potentially overhead, or buying an A7 not R an A7 II and putting it up there, and then taking this A6000 and making it the face cam, because the full frame, like, also I'm not going to use this 55mm lens, it's way too zoomed in. Probably I will buy a 35mm. I wish I could find a good 30, but a 35mm lens. I want to do f1.4, but it may be too shallow a depth of field to be reasonable. I may just go f2.8, and prices get a lot better there too. So I don't know. Yeah, you can post links in my I don't prohibit anyone from doing it. Please, if you got something cool. That's what I was saying before. Absolutely plug your thing, man. Why did I skip to that row? Derping it up. Yeah, like I said before, man, I'm friendly with people posting links to their work. And I'm not offering to build cables for people, so it's not even competitive at all. I want to go do your thing. You kind of want to get into build streams. They're fun. Wish you could afford build streams. Just need a nice camera, and I want one anyway. Your only contribution to the community. It's a shitty IC. Dude, cruise control, I'm totally gonna hit you up, by the way. Need me some decent cables beyond what I've already got. I actually do. Like, I've been holding off on buying cables with LEMO connectors simply because, like, most people are just completely slammed with work and it's difficult, especially Zap, right? Just super well known. And so I'm like, I'll just hold off, whatever. But I need some good Limo stuff. I have stuff with aviator connectors, which are also cool. But I need a good like set that has the base cable with USB-A on one side and then like 3 different Limo ends for mini, micro, and USB-C. And I know that sounds dumb to even buy one with mini, but you know what? Occasionally you get boards with mini. Probably not that often if you're doing customs for people. And Jeff Leopard, if you're talking about doing build streams, as was mentioned, it can get expensive if you're doing all your own stuff. So you take customers. And there are plenty of those folks around who need people to build their boards. And depending on what you're willing to do, you know, you post an advert on places, wherever, and you'll get people. It's not a bad deal, man. Hugh here is in on Dracula. So I'm not. Wah. It looks awesome. I'm not really into the mods that are different colorways personally. So in order for me to get Drac in the setup that I want it, personally, it's just like buying a bunch of kits, right? So I don't know, I may change my mind in the next little bit right before it's done, but also I'm getting in on a bunch of stuff, so I don't know. I don't know. But it is really cool. If the novelties look awesome. First of all, the error kit. It is pretty cool. Just that part isn't really for me, and so the like base kit part, base kit mods, not for me. All monochromed out is fine for me. Oh, so guess what? Oh, I said this to people earlier in the stream, but I own GMK Camping R1, and I was gonna get in on R2, but somebody posted another R1 set, and I was like, jump for like close to the same price as realistically it would have cost me. Well, actually the same or more as it would have cost me to get Camping R2 with all the stuff that I would have wanted in it. So yeah, so boom, R1 baby. Second, I have two Camping R1s. So one of them I'm gonna keep with like no shine because it doesn't have shine on it. My other set has shine on it, so that's gonna be like the display one, and then my other one is going to I'm just gonna let it shine like crazy. You know, like you do. Get it all shined up. It's like if they run a Shoko R2, totally gonna get it because my Shoko is crazy shined compared to the rest of my sets. Like just crazy shined. It's not crazy, it's just I don't know. It's shiny enough for me. I wish I had a display only copy of that. You like shine? I like it too. What a madman. Me? I have a sandblasting chamber. I have a sandblaster. Like a stand-up one that's like, you know, it's got glove box thing in the front. It's a thing. I'm still not gonna put camping into the sandblast chamber. Not without thorough testing in advance with other stuff. Yeah, I believe you can too. I think I said that a long time ago that you could probably just sandblast them, but I'm not gonna do it without checking it out with something that I care not at all about, because that's scary. Don't want to ruin a camping set. Okay, so let's real quick get our shine on. All them R's, G's, and B's. Let's hit the reset on this bad boy. Boop. Nope. And ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. Okay, function layer, control, space, alt control. Okay. Oh, I already did those. Cool. Cool. All right, now before we go all crazy, I like when keyless, personally. I'm all about it. Talk to Holly, who's messing with that stuff. So I thought shine was due entirely to oils from your fingers. Wouldn't have soaking. No, so the oils in your fingers, actually, and just the friction, but I think more just the oils, like actually erode the ABS, so they get smoothed out. Think about any keycaps that you've ever seen where they're just shined crazy. They're actually physically smooth. So I don't know if you guys want me to use the same keycap set that I used before. I used GMK Eclipse because everybody asked for it before. On the last time when we built this thing, and then we ended up finding out that the LEDs on the PCB weren't good. So if you guys want a different set, let me know what you might have in mind for a black. Use GMK Camping. Camping is okay. While you guys think about that, I'm still gonna test out everything. Things I think that I said would look good on this before were like modern Dolce, white on black. What else do we have that we talked about? Give me a second, I will think about it. No, I don't know why I would do that. I don't care about that right now. I don't have Oblivion. What I do have Eclipse, white on black. Camping would not probably look that great on this board, but I'll use it if you guys want. Shoko probably would look good on it. Modern Dolce. Monochrome. Minimal. That would not look good. Modern Beige, I guess, could look okay. It's not GMK, it's UTVT. Those are the sets I think would look pretty okay on it. This is Eclipse. This is GMK Eclipse. I mean, this is the one that we chose when we did it before, and I think that it that it actually ended up looking pretty good, personally. Especially with these purple accents. I want to make sure the mods all look good, lined up, arranged. Thoughts on Firefly? Looks cool. Yeah, it's definitely Eclipse. GMK Eclipse. All right, I haven't heard good. Yep, so we're just doing this. We're just gonna do this. White on black is amazing on this board though, as well. This is where it was, right? Yeah, okay. No, that can't be it. It's gotta be there, because negative. I'm confused. Oh, I was one over. So I was like, wait, this doesn't make sense. Okay, this is making way more sense now. What are we looking at? Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Okay, you're right. You're right. You're right. Thank you. I will do it. Why don't I do that? You're right. At first I was just trying to check out the stabilized keys, but when I got carried away. Thank you for keeping me in line. Gotta keep the streamer in line, right guys? Always. Don't ever let them get too carried away. Otherwise, you guys will just be like, where's the case? I'll just ship it back to the customer, no case. I'm joking, that would be terrible. Never do that, man. Never forget to do something like that. That'd be awful. Like, never get customers again. And I mean, I'm talking about accidentally, of course. Still would never do that, but like, somebody'd be like, this guy was a jerk, he didn't send me the case. I don't think I've ever, so I have forgotten to send someone something back one time, It wasn't a case. It was a couple Helios. And he didn't notice. I noticed. I was like, I have a couple of your Helios. Do you want me to send them to you, or do you want me to just pay you for them? He was like, oh, just pay me for them. It'd be stupid to ship them back. And I was like, I mean, I will though. It's totally my bad. Okay, so there is something that I wanted to do though right here. I was looking at this. It was terrible, yeah. Hello, Deli's girlfriend. Wait, what? Who? Hi, Deli's girlfriend. Oh. Girlfriend poking you. I mean, if you gotta go, you gotta go, right? You're writing an essay while watching? That's wild, man. Oh, you bought 4 Zelios from somebody once. Like, who even sells 4 Zelia? Like, you have 4 extras and they're just like, gotta get rid of them. I don't even want to think about how many Zelios I have, you guys. It's stupid. It's stupid. I have a spreadsheet, so I know how many, but it's stupid. Why did I put tab over here? Why would I do that? No, I'm not saying, like, I understand the reason someone would sell is to make money, but, like, I don't know, it seems like it wouldn't be worth the shipping to me. Like, right? I mean, am I wrong? Costs so much to ship them. Like, I don't know, maybe not, maybe not. No PCB, well, met at a train station. They were local. Oh, okay, so you know what? That totally actually makes sense. Like, complete sense. That's actually kind of awesome. Honestly, why would I put pause break in the wrong spot? Get over there, pause break. Break yourself.
I remember the fade in your eyes.
Just 4-hour keys on their own. Mini keep, that'd be cool. But it didn't look like a drug deal. No shit, huh? No shit, dude. Yeah, okay. Always gotta think about it sometimes when there's not a ton on there. Okay. I don't know. I think this set looks good on this. Maybe I'll switch swap the arrow keys on my Black Widow. Blue cherries? Not my favorite switches, I gotta be honest. Epic Gamer. You even have an RGB mouse pad? Like what mouse pad? I'm just like trying to think of like what mouse pad is RGB. I mean, I guess my mouse pad has an RGB thing on the top of it, but my mouse pad is inductively charging. The next to J. It's a Razer Firefly. Huh. I guess I didn't even like know that there were that many. I mean, I guess there are a couple, right? Now that I'm thinking about it. Razer Firefly, I'm gonna have to look it up. Heavily considered jailhouse modding first board from 4 years ago. That could actually be cool. Then realized per switch LEDs. Oof, dude. Yeah, so I have removed LEDs on a board per switch, and it was less of a pain in the ass than removing all these Milmax sockets that were on this board. But it was not the best. And I still haven't been typing that much lately. We'll see how my typing test goes with this. It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. It's gonna be like 60. I'm calling it 60. I don't know. I guess I need to get back on a streak of like practicing actually typing. Oh no, why did I do that? Okay. I have to remove a couple. Like a dumbass. Do 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 do. Where's my Everything's just going missing today, guys. Everything. Why would I put this here? T was missing. Okay. Like a fool. Can desolder. You cannot desolder these as fast as you can solder. These are a pain in the ass. And you would have to have an extraordinarily small desoldering gun tip to desolder the in switch LEDs quite so fast. Perfect. Okay. Honestly, gonna be sad when I go offline. Oh no, why? Oh. Well, sorry to hear that, bro. I will go offline though. Still, unfortunately. But I'm sorry to hear that. You gonna be up for a really long time, or are you first time you've been impressed with Eclipse? Yeah, see, that's why I was like, no, we'll do Eclipse. I'm down. It looks good on this board. Black boards, it looks good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, gamers, maybe? It's a little hard, though, with FPS gamers or something, though, because really at that point, what you're concerned with is being able to actually see the game. It's not just, like, chatting and chilling and glancing over every now and then at, like, a product. Which is unfortunate. There we go. It's kind of a pain in the ass to do these boards. To flip them over and get them all lined up. Okay. Don't let it go. Oh, that's right. It's these itty bitty ones. You're gonna polish. Wait, what? Brass plate. What are we talking about? Brass? You have an SSO2. You're happy with it. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Oof. MG Ember, now you need a board to go with it. What are you thinking board wise? Spent so much time. Yeah. No joke, huh? Somebody post a link to SSO2, if you wouldn't mind. So everybody knows what you're talking about. One of those books that got written before editors. Oof. Dang. Yeah. It looks cool, but don't do the solder sucker. The hand pump solder sucker. Honestly, they generate too much suction. And as a result, you're way more likely to lift pads. The gun types generate less suction than all of the hand pump suckers that I've used. And basically, they don't lift pads as quick or as much as often on similar boards. Okay. Guys, this is dirty. How good this sounds. Okay. All right. Sorry for all that. Good enough. You've never lifted a pad. Have you desoldered like an old Apple board by chance ever? Like harvesting some Alps? Because that will do it. Promise. going a little into the red. Let's move that a little further. All right, guys. All right. Oh God, it looks so clean. It looks so clean. Okay, so we're gonna do us some switch hitter action. Okay, get rid of that, and then we will bring this other doodad up. Wow. Is there no 1.5 FN cap? There is not a 1.5 FN cap for GMK Eclipse. The only thing that I know of that has a bottom row 1.5 FN other than Shoko. Shoko definitely has one. Like, they exist, but sometimes they're not the same bottom row profile. Yeah, so anything with bent over pins, switch pins, is more likely to have this. But before we get too carried away, let's do this. Okay, fresh, not typing at all today. It's gonna be kind of hard. Oh my gosh. Ah, come on. Okay. That was dumb. I hit F11. Didn't want to do that. All right, so let's go back. So 66 words a minute. That was dumb. But we got where we got. All right, guys. So that is that guy. Let's get this music back playing. So I'm going to reprogram it, right? So just so everybody sees kind of what's going on with reprogramming this guy, so you know. Let's pull up the snow tools. Hold on one sec. Okay. So let's get this. All right. So you guys can still hear me. I'm gonna move this over here so you can hear me better because it's all sorts of far away. All right. So hopefully you guys can see pretty well. hear me okay. Try and throw my voice to you. Download data from keyboard. No. All right. So we want control up here. That right control. He has a left control already. And I think that's all we wanted. Otherwise, oh, you wanted Deli, are you there? You wanted Windows on right alt, right? Or on left alt, rather. Oh, keep alt. Okay. That's right, control. Okay. And then we'll leave the lighting the way it is. It's just kind of slowly rotating. But you can go ahead and change that to all sorts of stuff. I'll make sure you get I'll probably have to just send you a copy of the Snow Tools that I have, or at least the firmware version number so you can download it. So now we've got control and Windows. For anybody that watches this video to this point and wonders what the heck is going on, you're looking for Snow Tools firmware uploader 4.214 for the Unicorn Legend. 4.214. And the keyboard, when you go to the default data, will have these options. So Snow Pro 60, 75, EL, Unicorn Legend, 108 and 108. Or TKL and 108. Anyway, we are going to switch back now. And then, yeah. Hopefully you guys have had a great time checking this out, watching. Snow Pro sucks. It's terrible. And frankly, should never have to use it. Yeah, totally rip. Sorry, man. Use QMK. I don't even care who you are at this point, right? If you're making a PCB, make it QMK compatible. It's what we all want. Dude, so it's super easy. It's the easiest thing ever. I promise you. Working direct with QMK is so much easier than it sounds. You just need to follow the instructions to install QMK pretty much exactly the way it says to do it on the QMK site, like how to install or whatever. No, these are terrible. Wish they were ferromagnetic. Stupid Milmax sockets. Direct to the trash can. Garbage. I'll just set that there for now. In case anyone were wondering, I may put the A7R2 or get an A7 and putting it down, put my A6500 pointing instead of a webcam, and then do the A7R2 down at an angle so you can get like a desk look at it from above, but at an angle. Yeah, so it's real easy, man. But anyway, everything looks good. Like, this board is spectacular. Literally one of my favorite boards, in my top 5 at least. HBCP, of course, is number 1, what Jeff Leopard's talking about. And dude, I promise you it's easy. I mean, how do you really want it programmed, man? I should probably just like show how that works, huh? All right. Nah, I'm not gonna do it here. That's... You didn't split the numpad like he does. Oh yeah, I did the same. I don't do split plus either. Otherwise, do you want like his same thing? Like, he had Windows key here, and I kept that because it's good for me. I didn't like it at first, but I freaking love it now. Yeah, it's so good. So good for me. No, not that. So I think I just have like Control Alt space, Windows key, and then not split numpad. Well, maybe I can just send you my actual hex file then. You can just QMK with QMK toolbox. Ping me out of here. I am me, you are you, number 7264 on Discord. In case you were wondering, I am me, you are you, number 7264. Probably the easy way. Yeah, so this board is beautiful. Highly recommended. You guys should all... Oh, yeah, it's no caps lock anymore over here, so... You guys should, absolutely come visit again. Because I really enjoyed it. It was great to talk to all you guys. Thanks, everybody, for following. Cruise Control TV... Thank you so much for, if you're still in, man, thank you for the host. I'm absolutely now gonna go watch a bunch of your videos because it's good to know who else is potentially streaming on my night, man. And I will actually ping you because I do want some cool cables. And those look really good on your Insta post. I think it was Insta, right? No, yeah, it was Insta. I like that right angle freaking connector. Like, what the hell? It's real cool. Anyway, thank you all, man. Yeah, Deli, I'll be hitting you up in just a little bit to figure out getting this back to you as soon as we can reasonably do it. Thanks everybody for joining, and good night, and come back again. It's Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, but not next Wednesday. Next Wednesday I'll be in Vegas. I am gonna try to bring soldering iron and maybe something to build in case, and a camera, of course, in case there's good enough bandwidth, but I'm almost positive there won't be good enough bandwidth. Since I'm driving, it probably isn't that big of a deal to bring stuff, but I doubt it will happen. I doubt there will be good enough bandwidth in the hotel to do it well. Anyway, until the week after next, very likely, when we will be doing a plaid. Congratulations on this board, Deli, and I will talk to the rest of you later. Night.